This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry, I am ready to deliver radio superbity. Are you ready to receive it? Can I get an amen?
Amen to that.
Sensible
Amen.
Don, how was your trip to Florida?
Fun for me. My wife wasn't very happy, but we made it back.
Well, welcome back to the studio, and I'm ready to go. I am tell you right now, Sensible Don, I am pumped up, jacked up, revved up. The Reds started spring training, so I, as witnessed by the video cast, am wearing my Cincinnati Reds baseball cap.
You ready?
I'm ready. And let me tell you something else, Don. Epic day. Today's President's Day. Tomorrow's Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday. TC Wednesday is Ash Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
What a week. What a week.
Got something going every day.
I tell you right now, and you know what, Sensible Don, I am in an outstanding mood. You know why?
Why is that?
I got some cash in my pocket.
Oh, that's good.
I got some money in my office account to meet payroll.
That's really good.
I'm in love with my wife.
Oh, you hitting it. Here you go.
And all my family's healthy.
You hit the top.
And I have a major announcement to make.
I'm listening.
Are you ready for the major announcement? We should have got this all like revved up and do it tomorrow. My little girl, Charlie Ann, is getting married.
Whoa.
Yes, she is. She's married a fine young man. I'm going to give him oracle status. My son-in-law to be, Chad Fuller. I jackwagon him.
Whoops, that was a mistake.
Sorry, Chad. That's a bad way to start a marriage. Your father-in-law jackwagoned you.
Fraudulent slip, wasn't it?
That was Sensible Don. Sensible Don did that.
I'm sorry. Chad, I am so sorry. It looked like you like the kid.
I love the kid.
If he made
and let me tell you something. He treats her good. He's got a job, and he's a handyman. What more could a woman want?
He got a job and a handyman?
Yes.
Oh.
What more could a woman want?
And she got the brains in the family. You can't beat that combination.
They both have jobs.
Coming this spring. Greenwater presents Meet the Deters.
By the way,
New movie, Meet the Deters.
I came up with a band. A band. We gotta form a band. You know what the band's gonna be called?
On the Run.
The Bulldog and the Green Waters. Yeah.
That TC is short for
The
that.
Bulldog. And if they can call a band Coldplay, we can be the Green Waters. I want everybody to know right now that I've had some caffeine, but I have not had any cocaine this morning.
Oh, none at all.
No cocaine.
That's a relief.
Yeah.
I've never had cocaine. I'm not going to ask you whether you guys had coke.
Hey, you can ask me.
I'm going to tell you something that I did
Never.
that I always wondered, like when you see these people going to a movie theater by themselves, don't you admit you probably like wonder they're a little weird?
No.
You don't? You don't?
You know what?
I do. When I see somebody seeing a movie by themselves, I'm thinking, where's your date?
You know what? There are times when going to a movie by yourself is really nice because
right.
a lot of times people like to talk in the movies.
That's right. You
Right.
want to go look at the movie?
But
I can tell you still about going to movies by myself.
But I'm self-conscious about it.
Why?
Are you?
I mean, because I'm just thinking people are looking at me weird. Anyway, I saw a movie. My wife went to Louisville Saturday night, and she went down there for her niece's 21-year-old birthday party. They went to Morton Steakhouse. The whole family went. I could have went, and I said, nah, no thank you. So I went to
You could have gone to Morton's?
Yes. I went to the 5 o'clock showing of The Gray at the Rave Theater in Florence. And let me tell you something. If you're a man, you got to go see The Gray. And you know what? I sat there by myself, and I enjoyed it very much. And I got to share with you. I'm not going to blow the ending. The whole movie's awesome. It's about survival. It's about the human condition. And it's about being a man. And you know what? There's a poem, an Irish poem, that they conclude the movie with. And I have to share it with everybody. Once more into the fray, into the last good fight I'll ever know. Live and die on this day. Live and die on this day. I say be a lion, Sensible Don, and not a poodle.
Absolutely. Sometimes you need a poodle, though.
No.
Always love you.
Quote of the day. This is the famous quote that Rand Paul and Ron Paul, the entire Paul family enjoys quoting. The Tree of Liberty. And how appropriate, since I'm calling for an armed march on Washington,
Yes,
which, by the way, my agent says I probably shouldn't do. It could affect advertising dollars.
You got that right.
You know what I say? All the gun manufacturers will advertise on our show.
Welcome, Smith.
There's always somebody. Smith & Wesson, Colt, Remington, Browning.
Hold on, I got Chip Hart on the phone. He wants to talk to you about some advertising here.
The Tree of Liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. It is its natural manure.
That has got no.
You know who said that, Sensible Don?
Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
Yes. It's got no.
By the way, he'd made a pledge to his first wife who died that he'd never remarry, and he kept that promise. What a jackwagon!
What is his problem? She's gone.
What a jackwagon, man!
Somebody's She's
make
gone,
that
man.
kind of pledge. Today in history, in 1792, President George Washington signed an act creating the U.S. Post Office, and now they want 50 cents
or more. Oh, Ben
How much
Franklin.
was a stamp back then?
Oh my God, I don't know. John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth. That dude is 90 years old, man.
Is he 90?
He's going to work till he dies.
Good
You know what's
man.
interesting about when he orbited the Earth, the technology that got him orbited the Earth. We have more technology now in our laptops than what they had when they put him in space.
I got to ask you a question, and I like that movie that they did about that, where Sam Yeager said going to be a can, what they call it, a spam in a can or something up there. Chuck Yeager didn't want to go, man. Chuck Yeager was like,
demon.
Sam Shepard played him. He's like, man, I ain't gonna be a spam in a can, and I don't blame him. You know what? I gotta ask y'all a question. All right, the first time you're gonna go up in space,
I ain't going.
How big a you-know-what's coconuts do you got to have to say, all right, like, who would ever think that this is going to work the first time we try it?
And a major leap of faith.
Oh, my God. Houston, we got a major problem. I don't know what the hell's wrong, but I see nothing but darkness.
I won't be back.
All that stuff those scientists said, it's not happening up here.
Man. You know what we're proving? That I'm proving right now that I do my best work when I'm slap happy. I have no idea why I'm slap happy.
No sleep?
No, I have not. You know what? I've had no sleep. My last sleep was at 4 p.m. last night, or yesterday.
Wow.
Famous birthdays today. Rihanna is 23.
Happy birthday.
Kurt Cobain is dead, but it was his birthday. Cindy Crawford, 45.
Still looking good.
She's still a fine-looking woman.
And her legs are 19.
Charles Barkley is 48.
Losing weight.
By the way, since we mentioned George Washington, on the way in here, I thought of a comparison. You know, Mitt Romney is dropping like a lead balloon in the polls.
Again?
And he was rich like George Washington was rich. But you know the difference, Sensible Don? Let's compare George to Mitt. Let me see. Washington had bullets go through his hat and his clothes, and horses shot out from under him, and he lived with his men out in the rain and the snow, and he was a tough guy.
Real man's
Mitt
man.
Romney's a sissy. God, is he a sissy?
He definitely that.
God, he is a sissy.
But I don't know. Mitt Romney he's worked for a company that takes over other companies.
I know.
He invades companies.
Yeah, he invades companies. But and they got that picture of him with cash sticking out all over his pockets with his buddies. You know what? That might be okay if you were in a fraternity, but come on, man. Mitt's just not appealing to Bulldog Nation.
You remember the
that
movie?
blue-collar, conservative libertarian, Mitt's got no chance.
In the movie Trading Places.
I love that movie.
Was Dan Aykroyd.
Yes.
His character.
Yes.
That's Mitt.
You're right.
That's him.
You hit the nail on the head.
know?
That's Mitt. It
Don't
is.
hurt me. Take the payroll.
Let me give you another example of it. I mean, George Bush, the first George Bush, okay, was kind of like that, except one exception. He was not a wimp. He was a fighter pilot, got shot down and everything else. Romney just doesn't have any toughness on his resume.
We got to be careful. He's in town today. You know?
I know he is.
He might
We're
be
going
listening.
to get to that. Hey, Mitt Romney. Hey, Mitt Romney's people. You're not going to come on my radio station anyway. Sissy, sissy, sissy. You're a sissy. I'm trying to get this started. Life magazine called Bush a wimp. How come we can't get the sissy thing started right here on Real Talk 1160?
Well, put it this way. Mitt, if you're not a sissy, call us at 513-579-1160.
I'll arm wrestle you on the air, Mitt. Heck, I'll cage fight you.
You'll never see Mitt.
I'll be 1-1 after that. Whoa!
It's an easy victory, huh?
Easy victory. Sad to report military death. Now, I'm not making fun of this guy because God bless him, he gave his life to his country. But his name is Jerry Reed.
Jerry Reed.
Wow.
I wonder if he's, and it's a second. I'm being honest. I wonder if it's related to Jerry Reed, the
Singer, actor,
singer and
truck
actor. Russellville, Arkansas. God bless his soul. Died in Afghanistan. Jerry Reed II. Today's forecast: sunny, high, showers tomorrow. Partly cloudy Wednesday. Thank you very much. When we come back, we'll have a feel-good song. We'll have some history, some humor, some Shakespeare, general radio superbity. We're going to get you warmed up to the hardcore stuff at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. That's when we go hardcore here on Bulldog Nation Radio, right, guys? We say the second hour is when we talk about economics and science and politics and what did Sensible Don eat for breakfast.
Oh, nothing.
Let the good times roll. Jacob, you okay over there on the video? Radio Superbity on Real Talk 1160.
Remember, if you can't find a radio, you can use the TuneIn Radio app free on your iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android and hear Real Talk 1160 24 hours a day. And right now, let's get back to the Bulldog.
This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. I like sundown. She don't always say what she really means.
They never say what they mean.
She might say no, and she means yes. Then she says whatever and just kills the mood.
And sometimes she says nothing and she means everything.
When John Kennedy and Richard Nixon squared off for their historic presidential debate in 1960, they knew something most of the country didn't. They had debated before. 13 years earlier, in 1947, both Nixon and Kennedy were freshman congressmen, still wet behind the ears. By the way, what the hell does that mean, wet behind the ears? I mean, I know what it means, but where does it come from?
That's a good question. You should look that up.
They were invited to an industrial town in McKeesport, Pennsylvania to debate the Taft-Hartley bill, a Republican-sponsored measure designed to limit the power of labor unions. No one in the hotel ballroom that night knew that the debate was a glimpse in the future. Ever the fighter, Nixon was aggressive in arguing for the bill. Tricky there, or as he was known at Duke, he was known as, what was it called, Gus? Gloomy Gus? A member of his college debate team, he challenged his opponent on every point. Union members in the audience booed and jeered him, but he kept on nonetheless. Kennedy, ever the charmer, who also had a 19-year-old lover, often ignored his opponent as he sought middle ground and tried to win over the crowd. The debate was ruled a draw. Later that night, the two men took a night train for Washington. They drew straws for the lower berth, and Nixon won. It was the last time he was to beat Kennedy in anything. Do you believe history? Is it not remarkable?
It comes together.
Stranger than fiction. You know, they could do a whole movie about that debate.
It's running together, right?
Humor, what is President's Day? Do you know what President's Day is, Don?
To say happy birthday to all the presidents of the United States.
By the way, we're going to have some presidential trivia coming up. President's Day is when Obama steps out of the White House and he sees his shadow, and we have to have 2 more years of unemployment. Shakespeare for the day. Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. That's a good morals to live by.
You know, something about President's Day I always thought was quite interesting. How is it that, coincidentally, all the presidents have a birthday on the same day every year? It's always on a Monday.
That is remarkable.
Isn't that amazing?
That's
remarkable.
That's called politics.
Dog saying of the day, a good dog deserves a good bone.
That's a fact.
Don't ever forget that.
My dog gets
You
a
know
good
what?
dog.
You had this stupid idea, Sensible Don, of putting Jack Wagons and Oracles to the end of the show, and I'm vetoing that and keeping them in the front where they belong.
Bringing them back. All right.
Jack Wagons of the day, Mark Carey, a lawyer. That'll come up later. Bill Hawkins, a lawyer. He thinks he's worth $400 and no results. Who would pay Bill Hawkins $400 an hour?
Whoa.
Bobby Brown, for obvious reasons. The streetcar goofballs. We're going to have a lot on that coming up. The Saudi prince, he lied. He'd say we wouldn't have $100 oil. Romney, the sissy. Howard Dean, the wacko. I'll explain later. The Oracles, Kevin Costner. His Whitney Houston remarks at the funeral, which we're also going to cover, stole the show. Liam Neeson for his role in The Gray. Timothy Dolan from New York for becoming a cardinal. He's only 62, Don. He could be the first American pope.
And that's a fact. He's young. That's really
He
young.
might beat me and be the first American pope. I want to be the
Ameripope.
first American pope.
You can't. You got the radio show.
That's true.
We could do this
I
in
could
the
do
Vatican.
I could do it from the Vatican.
No problem.
Hi, this is the Bulldog from the Vatican Sistine Chapel.
And guess what? You have your own army.
There's all those oracles. I'd have my own army. You're right.
You have your own army.
By the way, I don't think the Swiss Guard could beat Claude Von Damme by himself.
No, I don't think so.
We have to add an oracle.
Who's the Add an oracle?
My niece Cassidy. She's a Girl Scout,
There we go.
and
Denise Cassidy.
I got my 8 boxes last night. Life is good.
You know, I never did understand why the Girl Scouts start selling cookies when everybody has New Year's resolutions not to eat them.
Because they're so good with
And
green
then they
water.
come right before rent.
Because they know.
I mean, Lent. I said rent. Man, I need some sleep.
Nobody
Lent.
follows Lent, nor do they follow their resolution.
The Bulldog and the Green Waters coming to a theater near you. I like that. All right, you ready for some pop culture, Don?
Yes.
Listen.
Whitney Houston's funeral, which is the highlight of pop culture today. Kevin Costner's remarks stole the show. How about that he waited a year? He waited a year to have Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard.
Because she was on tour. That was nice.
Bobby Brown was told to bring 3 people. He shows up with 9. What a
Sound like
jackwagon.
Bobby Brown.
Gosh darn. You know, I didn't realize it. He was several years younger than Whitney.
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't realize that?
Never marry a younger man. Oops, my daughter's marrying a younger man.
Is that right?
Yep.
That's good.
Chad's better than Bobby, though.
I hope so.
The service was nice. I watched it on television. Did you?
No, I was in the car.
Black Sabbath is working on a reunion. Ozzy and the boys. Van Halen kicked off their tour in Louisville Saturday night. You know what I think I'm a little worried about? My wife said she had to go down there with her sister and her kids to be at the niece's 21st birthday. I'm a little worried they had backstage passes to see David Lee Roth and Eddie Van Halen.
It might be.
That would not be good.
For you.
He's
Good
single
for them.
now, isn't he? Eddie
Yep.
Van Halen's a single man again.
Pete Townsend gets millions for his catalog of songs.
He sold it?
He sold the catalog.
Oh, dude.
Baba O'Reilly is sold.
It's like selling your kids.
Yeah, by the way, I have put a lot of great music this weekend on my iPod, and we're going to have some fun with music in the coming weeks.
Yeah,
like I came up with this. We're going to put like the top 5 rock and roll songs to wake you up, the top 5 tear-jerking love songs. We're going to have some fun lists.
Yeah, finally
Top 5 rap songs.
finally become familiar with that iPod, huh?
Yes, I have.
It's working for you, huh?
Oh, here's what I came up with. Another funny. England Dan and John Ford Coley. What a goofy name. I thought that's like saying Eric Bob and TC Chevrolet. This is Eric Bob and TC Chevrolet. I mean, what the heck? England Dan and John Ford Coley. Those cannot be their real names.
Well, England Dan's real name is Dan Seals.
Is it really?
Remember that song Bop?
Oh, my gosh.
That's the guy that did Bop.
See, he's an old rock and roll DJ.
Yeah,
he knows this
definitely.
stuff.
He got days.
But isn't that
I
funny,
wouldn't
though?
say old.
England Dan and
John Ford
Coley.
They
Really
did it.
love to
Eric
see you
Bob
tonight.
and TC Chevrolet.
That'll work.
Sensible Don and
Lindsay
New
Lohan. SNL on March 3rd. That's Saturday Night Live. It's not, S&M. It's SNL. She might perform S&M on SNL.
I'm sure she will.
Lilo. That'll be the highest watched
Lindsay
show.
Lohan has been ridden hard and put up wet. She looks like she's 50 years old. A tragedy. And Emma, I think her name's Stone, is like Lindsay Lohan too, so Lindsay can't get any gigs.
Nothing at all.
They say, Emma Stone, cute little redhead, or Lindsay Lohan, skanky redhead. Up, Emma.
But think of all the great spoofs, all the skits they can do
Oh,
on
my
SNL.
God.
With Lindsay
Oh,
Lohan.
my God.
That could be a 3-hour
And all,
show.
and all the guys' tongues will be wagging.
No
should
doubt.
take it off.
We have some good news. Kobe apparently has got Vanessa about talked in to a reconciliation, guys.
It's nice.
Isn't that
Right.
sweet?
Yeah.
He's not going to be tortured about another man lying on top of her doing the dirty.
Don't she own the 3 houses and all the money now?
That's a good reason to reconcile. Celebrity Apprentice started last night, and they kicked off. I cannot believe Donald Trump could point his finger and fire Miss Fishnet Cheryl Teagues.
That's a good move there.
How did he fire Cheryl Teagues, Miss Fishnet?
What did she look like? Did she still look like
She
Cheryl
still
Teague?
looks good.
Okay.
She still
I
looks
would've
good.
kept her around.
Bulldog note, I remember looking at the Fishnet in the Covington Latin Library when I was a teenager. I couldn't believe Covington Latin had it in there.
You've ever thought about this? Maybe
Charlotte Decker, the librarian, obviously did not check that out.
Maybe Trump's wife told him to get rid of her.
Sensible Don, I want to tell you something else.
I'm listening.
I don't like this metrosexual stuff. I'm into men's men and women's men. New York Times reports bracelets, bags, hats, umbrellas. Men are buying so many accessories that some forecasters predict sales growth for men's clothing and accessory during the first 3 months of this year will set a 20-year high. Bulldog note. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? Our lonely nation turns its eyes to you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Where's John Wayne when you need him? Howdy, Pilgrim. Where's Clint? Where's Denzel? No, men are buying bracelets and handbags.
Went through this phase in the late 60s, early 70s. We've done it before.
Good God.
That's right, bought on by Superfly.
I bought a briefcase that looked like a Merce. My wife pointed it out, and I never used it again.
A Merce?
Yeah, like a man's purse.
Whoever made up that word. Well, you know what I think it is for a lot of guys. It's that status thing. Like, you know, when you make that elevation to I'm a white collar employee. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't get his hands dirty. You
Right.
know? So, blue collar worker's not wearing a bracelet, not keeping his nails clean. It doesn't matter. He's got, little dirt under his fingernails, like us,
Like
working
us.
on the farm.
In fact, my agent pointed out to me, guys, that I appeal to a segment of society that no other talk show host appeals to, and that is the blue collar conservative and libertarian.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
That's a
The
good group.
Bulldog can connect.
That's the group to hang with.
Connection.
I'm not like Romney, man. In sports, the Knicks beat the Mavs 104-97. Lynn played well before a national audience. And guess what? There's an ESPN flap. A writer was fired and a reporter suspended for this headline after Nick lost. What, Jack Wagons? Chink in the armor.
No, he did.
When they
say
lost.
that. No, he
When they
did.
lost.
Oh,
They
say
put a
that.
headline, Chink in the armor.
They wrote it down.
They wrote that down. Chink and the armor. Fired.
Someone's losing a job.
Is this a commercial break?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
When we come back, more sports, and then we got local news. Can you say streetcar whack jobs on Real Talk 1160? Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. I tell you right now, Sensible Don, I got this bad habit of moving my boots, and then my boot knocks out my plug.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Did you notice
good at
that?
Yeah, you're good at knocking out
I
everybody's
do.
plug.
I do it a lot.
Yes, you do.
It's not good.
No. No, it's not good at all.
Continuing sports, and Daytona 500, Carl Edwards won the pole in the Daytona 500. Have you ever won a pole?
No, never run a pole.
Xavier defeated Dayton 86-83 Saturday in overtime. UC beat Seton Hall 62-57. UK trounced Ole Miss 77-62. The Buckeyes lost to Michigan State 56-51. NKU beat Southern Indiana 69-55. The Red shortstop Cozart says he's healthy. And Hugh Jackson leaves the Raiders and returns to the Bengals as an assistant. And finally, the pitchers and catchers report to Goodyear. Sensible Don, it's play ball.
They report today?
Yes.
Yeah, baby, they reported yesterday.
Are you going to be in the parade this year?
Oh, yes, we are. We're all going to be in a parade. We're going to have my black pickup truck, and we all going to ride in it.
That sounds good to me.
Oh, we're going to have a blast.
Sounds real good. You get parking and drive?
Park it and drive.
Drive the truck while we're in the back. You can't sit
Yes,
up there. Okay,
yes.
yeah, park and drive.
Chuck will drive it.
Chuck driving, okay. Sounds
Chuck will.
good.
We're going to have the Bulldog banner. We're going to have whiskey. We'll all be riding the truck.
Oh, I get to bring Sophie.
I want to be right behind Jim, you know who.
No, you're not.
Are you ready for some local news?
I'm listening.
What a bunch of loonies, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. The streetcar groundbreaking. Did you see those giddy sissies? The delusional, illusional nitwits? I bet Mallory has a blister now from flipping that brick up with that shovel. Oh, man, I got a Bristol here. And the Department of Transportation Secretary, Ray LaHood, up to no good, referenced the Panama Canal when speaking of the streetcar. This is an epic day in transportation history. Panama Canal, and the Cincinnati streetcar. I swear I'm going to go bonkers.
There's a comparison there.
Do you believe that? Ray LaHood invoked the Panama Canal.
So the French started digging this first, right?
Jeez. Now, there's a guest columnist, and I'm not going to give his name because I don't want to give him any credit, in the Sunday Inquirer. Here's what this loony boony had to say. Friday's groundbreaking for the streetcar marked a momentous day for the city of Cincinnati. Our city will soon have a multimodal transportation system that will create jobs, repopulate our urban core, and increase the tax base for all of Cincinnati's 52 neighborhoods. Do you know that streetcar is going to do things for 52 neighborhoods?
It's going to 52
Cities
neighborhoods.
throughout the country have reaped the benefits of rail, and Cincinnati's next. And then he goes on. This is how he concluded. Now is the time for unity on making the Cincinnati streetcar a centerpiece of our city. This guy is nuts.
Can you say white elephant?
God. Now, I got some more things. Here's what Mallory said. We are continuing that lineage as great Cincinnatians, those who have built this great city. And make no mistake, we are improving this city with the development of the streetcar.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Oh, my God. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I gotta just add I gotta put the cherry on top of this, all right? A new report in the today's Enquirer reflects the city, Don, has $110 million liability from their generous vacation, sick time, and other leave employees. Did you know, Sensible Don and TC, in 2011, 1 in 3 employees were off a full 6 weeks?
Goodness.
Bulldog note. So what do? You get a streetcar! There are 2 kinds of people in the world, realists and those in la-la land. Can I get it up for the la-la landers?
La 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 la.
110 million.
Hey, Mallory! You're a jackwagon. You're a sissy. You're a loony boony. You're a nut job.
But guess what? That 110 million will be a drop in the bucket compared to what they will spend on the streetcar.
Oh, God, the streetcar. They don't even have Duke involved yet. They have a problem with Duke. They're missing $40 million of the funding, and they go out there with their little gold shovels and flip up a brick. Yay! We started the streetcar.
How much a gold shovel cost?
Good God. I tell you, I can't get these guys. I can't get these guys at all.
This city.
I mean, I just unbelievable. In world news, Don,
I'm listening.
the Saudi prince is a damn liar.
Yes.
He promised he would not allow oil to go over $100. He cut output. Oil's at 105.
So that $5 more in his pocket, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be cheap in the wintertime. What's going on?
Gasoline is like a $3.80 premium?
Yeah.
It's going to go up to $19 a gallon.
Easy. It'll be there soon.
Good thing we have that streetcar.
That'll get you to work, boy.
Hey, man, I got to ride the streetcar.
I can't afford to put gas.
Hey, can you run the streetcar out to Independence, Mayor?
That'll get you to work.
Barack Obama, though, doesn't want oil and energy dependency.
No.
Good golly. Meanwhile, this is funny. Iran or Iran? I call it Iran. I'm from Harlan County. It's Iran. Stops oil sales to Britain and France.
Were they mad
The
at
Saudi prince goes, I smell opportunity here. Oil goes up to $200 a barrel. I'm going to make a fortune.
Right. Selling to England.
Wimps.
France.
U.S. and Britain say, Israel, don't you strike Iran. What a joke. We strike Iraq. We strike Libya. We strike Afghanistan. But Israel's not allowed to protect themselves.
And they will, though.
Hey, but you know, if Israel strikes, they might get themselves in over their head.
I don't think so.
Nah, Israel kick Iran's butt.
real
I
quick
tell you right
and
now,
right fast.
I'll take 1 Israeli soldier to 20 Iranian whip wagons.
I don't know. Iran might have some friends over there that we don't know about.
They had a whole bunch of friends before and took a butt whooping.
Syria's got their handful. That's the only friend they got is Syria. Saudi Arabia, let me tell you something. Saudi Arabia is Sunni, and Iran is Shiite, TC. So the Saudis hate them. Kuwait hate them. Israel hates them.
So they're all alone.
Jordan's our friend. The only friend they got is Syria.
No, that's no good.
This is the Bulldog, Middle East expert.
No, it's good information. There's good information there.
Yes, it is. Now my life's observations are pretty good. Saturday at 10 o'clock at night, I went up to Frisch's, and all I did was get a big boy, onion rings, and hot fudge cake. Yes, I'm not going to diet right before Lent. Anyway, inadvertently ended up behind the kid driving my son to where they were going. This car was weaving all over the place. So I called my son. Dad, he's texting and driving. That's why he's weaving. I say, you come home now. You're in the death seat. You're not riding with a guy who's texting. Now, Don, I'm 48 years old. I'm an experienced driver. I'm allowed to text and drive.
Okay.
But a teenager's not.
I agree.
Oil changes. You know what? Don't you hate when you go get an oil change and they give you all these questions? Don't you feel like pulling in the quick stop and saying, just change my oil? Sir, would you like to get an air filter change? Sir, would you like this? Sir, what? Sir, sir. I just felt like looking at this lady with purple hair and saying, just change my oil.
But didn't they just do that?
No. President's Day closings. Will somebody explain to me why the banks have to be closed on President's Day?
Good question.
I have no idea.
Good question.
Now, the ones inside the grocery stores are open.
Are they?
Yeah.
Flu shot. I received my flu shot yesterday at Walgreens. It's a little late, but they said it's still good.
Yes.
And by the way, I found out something. Anthem cut off Walgreens, and Walgreens cut off Anthem. This lady told me, the pharmacist says, that Anthem was hurting them so bad that Walgreens would go bankrupt trying to fill these orders, so they're having to renegotiate. How does Anthem not let their customers like me go to the largest pharmacy in America?
Makes no sense.
No sense. By the way, Jack Nee, I always go to you except on weekends. That's Nee's Pharmacy, our friendly neighborhood pharmacy. Let me see here. I already said my big announcement. Mardi Gras. Do you know, Sensible Don, I have never been to a Mardi Gras, nor would I ever go to one. And my wife maintains she hasn't either, and thank God. I could imagine somebody out there on the internet having the Bulldog's wife's boobs from trying to get those beads.
Show them to me. Show them to me.
Shame on you, Don.
I've never been to Mardi Gras. I don't go around that kind of crowd of people with alcohol.
Me neither.
No.
I'm glad I'm married to a good woman.
Yeah, I hope so.
Not an exhibitionist.
Yeah, you show them for a bead. I carry a pocket full of beads in that case.
I got to dog somebody really good. Marcus Carey filed to run for the 4th congressional seat. Now, this guy's 3 strikes, he's out with me. Okay, numero uno, right? He runs for circuit judge against Judge Bates, my good friend down in Grand County. I give Marcus Carey $1,000. I'm the only guy that gave him $1,000, right? When I run for county attorney, guess how much money Marcus Carey gives to me?
How much?
Zippo. Then I had him on the radio show once, and right after the show was over, he goes, hey, could I be your backup and fill in for you? I'm like, the guy wants my job.
Smart man.
Number 3, when we come back, we're going to tell you the third thing this phony dude did. And then we're going to cover general news, politics, and more. Radio Superbity on Real Talk 1160.
The Simon Kenton Pioneers will take on Williamstown tonight in the first round of district tournament. The pregame starts at 6:30 with Steve Jarnicki. Tip-off at 7 o'clock right here on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Now, this Marcus Carey guy who's going to run for Congress and lose to Thomas Massey, Marcus Carey did this to me. He's supposed to be my buddy, right? He called Larry Forgy up and said, hey, if Eric gets suspended, can you help me get those good medical malpractice cases he has? True story.
That's smart man.
I called him up and said, hey, Marcus, you're a jackwagon. Ladies and gentlemen, just for the record, the commander of Bulldog Nation commands you not to vote for Marcus. I'm a wimp sack Carey. He is a typical politician, phony fraud.
I'm trying to get all I could get when I could get it.
Hey, listen to this. This is funny, too. He does a radio show from the internet. 6 people listen every day.
Well, that's good.
Actually, I think he finally stopped doing it. Oh, this is even better. Guess who he was trying to buy an hour of time until they put me on the air here. Sorry, Marcus. You wouldn't have quadrupled the ratings. True story. He was trying to buy an hour of time.
1 hour, huh?
We don't need your like, Marcus, you backstabber. In cable news, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I've been watching these talk show hosts on every cable channel, and I'm sorry, they're just nitwits, especially the second-tier ones, the weekend ones. They don't have a clue. Can't they find somebody that knows a little bit about what the hell's going on, Don?
It ain't about what they know, it's who they know.
The Washington Avalanche, God love them, there's 3 dead, but I can say this. You should never go skiing. I went out when my wife and I were at Jackson Hole, and I saw these slopes, and they said, well, that's Black Diamond, that's intermediate. These are like straight down hillsides with trees and big old rocks, and I'm like, why do people do this?
Jacob, why do you do that? Jacob does that.
Jacob does that.
I told him it was a sick
Jacob,
kid.
you're a fool.
Sick
You're a
kid.
damn fool.
Oh, you go down the side of a mountain and you pay to do it? Makes no sense to me.
Let me see. In legal news, I got some great stuff in legal news. A lawsuit has been filed against Cook County, Illinois, accusing the county and the medical examiner of leaving a woman's body at a morgue for more than a year.
Whoa.
Hey, what are you going to do with his body? I don't know, man. Just put it back.
What's that smell?
That body was frozen.
It was frozen. Was it a mummy?
Will you stop making fun of the frozen body? It was a human being once.
Cook County. What do you expect?
Of course,
from
now
Cook
it's a
County?
corpse.
Yeah, what do you expect from
You know
that?
why they probably kept it frozen? Obama wants the vote.
Obama and all
They're
the,
probably keeping them all frozen for their votes.
and all the governors in jail. They can't sign her out.
Now, I want to just tell something, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury. It is incredible how irresponsible and arrogant so many businesses, governments, and insurance companies are. They do wrong, they refuse to accept responsibility for their wrongs, then they pay lawyers like Bill Hawkins $400 an hour. They would rather pay lawyers than do what is right. Remember that case I said I was going to, that $15 million case against Brickman Landscaping?
Right.
It didn't go very well. It's war. Let me tell you what Brickman Landscaping did. This is a true story. The largest landscaper in the country. You know what they would do? They would, let's say, Duke Realty would say, okay, here's $100,000 for pre-emergence herbicide at our Cincinnati locations. They would pay Brickman the $100,000. Brickman would say, this is a nice, easy way to make a quick $100,000. They would intentionally remove it from the work order, meaning Duke would pay for the $100,000, but they wouldn't do the work. Criminal.
That is criminal.
Absolutely criminal.
Theft.
They filed a motion to dismiss. It was overruled. Filed a motion to vacate that, overruled. Filed another motion, overruled. But Brickman Landscaping now's got to pay the piper. They're going to have to produce documents, which I'm sure I will turn over to the U.S. Attorney's Office.
You can really get them, huh?
I tell you another place I cannot stand. The Village of St. Bernard. They have paid Taft, Stettinius, and Hollister $106,000 for 2 months of legal work when they have a whole street of people living on a toxic waste dump
Why don't they just fix
that
it?
they just don't take care of.
Just fix it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, it's rough out there.
That's right. That 100K will go a long way.
The
toward
Bulldog has to fight for justice.
Fix it.
All right, now get this. In the backdrop of that tirade, Citigroup, good golly, has agreed to pay $158 million, Don, to settle a lawsuit accusing the company of defrauding the federal mortgage insurance program.
160
Now
million.
I'm going to tell you something. My good buddy Larry Forgy tells me, Deters, you can't commit a felony by accident.
You cannot.
Sensible Don, you cannot commit fraud by an accident.
You got that right.
So this means Citigroup, on purpose, committed fraud and the federal mortgage insurance company for misleading information about the quality of its mortgages to the federal insurance program.
Wait a minute.
Citigroup.
Have you ever had a client tell you that they committed a felony by accident?
No. Because let me tell you something, folks. I know two things. One, you cannot commit fraud by accident. And you cannot commit a felony by accident.
It takes a little thought.
Which brings me to my next tirade. Insurance cases. Oh, my God. At Sensible Don, we've been battling insurance companies on all fronts. So many times, insurance companies deny coverage, knowing they got coverage. I mean, a house or building burns down. Where were you? Did you burn down your house? Do you have financial problems? You know what I tell my clients? Everybody's got financial problems.
Everybody on their means. You're right.
You
Everybody.
have property lost due to a tornado? Well, let me see if there's coverage. No, there's exclusion for that. There's exclusions for everything. Let me see. They know they're cheating you on a billing issue. Oh, my God. Happens all the time. Good old insurance companies. You know what the rule is, Sensible Don, when you find out an insurance company is doing you wrong?
What?
Call the Bulldog.
Solve the problem. You got a number for him?
Call the Bulldog. Got another legal story with my buddy Larry Forgy. Larry Forgy is representing, Bar Council, Kentucky Bar Council, or jack wagons. True story, Don. Larry Forgy had a hearing in Frankfurt Friday. He's representing a lawyer. Somebody breaks into his house. True story. Breaks into his house at night. A burglar. The lawyer takes a baseball bat and beats the hell out of the guy.
Good for him.
Beats the hell out of the guy.
Make my day.
The Kentucky Bar Association wants to suspend him.
For what?
Misconduct. I swear to God. Now, my good buddy Larry, Larry coined that phrase that a lottery's a tax on hope and an excise on misery.
That's true.
My opponent's campaign stagnant as a green pond. He walks up to Bar Council. And you know what he told him? He said, I can hear him saying this in his big baritone voice. You lost sympathy somewhere between and syphilis. He said he wasn't amused. You lost sympathy. And I had to look it up. I said, sympathy is in the dictionary between S and syphilis. Is that not a great line? Ladies and gentlemen, you can use that line wherever you like, at school or your workplace. You can go to your employer and say, you've lost sympathy somewhere between S and syphilis.
Look it up.
Sensible Don, I think we're having too much fun.
I love Larry.
I think we're having too much fun.
When is Larry coming down here to sit down with us?
I don't know, but you know what I told him? He's got a woman friend, and I said, why don't you bring your woman friend to dinner up at Cincinnati, spend the night, and then come on the radio with us.
Right.
He'll come on here and say, Deters, I've always said you had an extra gland. That's what he used to tell people. He gave this speech in Harlan County. The people of the mountains of Kentucky are like Evangeline, who stood here at the tree waiting for her lover to come, and her lover never came. If I'm elected governor, we will build a road through those walls of Mountain Rock. Heck, I got up on the table and took off my suit coat and got all pumped up. The Harlan County Country Club. Well, Sensible Don, now that we're finished with the soft core part of our radio show, we're going to go to hardcore politics. Let's have some fun. I'm going to share at every segment a little presidential trivia. By the way, feel free to call us at 513-579-1160. That is 513-579-1160. I challenge you to try to stump me in presidential history. Sensible Don, only one president ever held a patent for an invention. Who was it?
Don't know, but I do know.
Abraham Lincoln.
What was the invention?
It had to do something with a boat, like keeping the boat's ballast. When we return, more Radio Superbity, and we're going to talk about Sissy Mitt, who's in town on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Real Talk 1160. TC, you've got a report for us.
Yes, I do. I don't know if we want to read this on the air. We were talking about the term wet behind the ears.
Yes.
Now, I Googled this, and let's see. Meaning, naive. Origin, the allusion is to the inexperience of a baby so recently born as to still be wet.
I see.
Wet behind the ears.
I see.
Jacob's shaking his head. Ugh. So that's what that means.
Sensible Don, one of the president's wives, thought she could communicate with the dead.
Wasn't that Nancy?
Nope, it was Mary Todd Lincoln. She had seances.
Yes. Yeah, she was dingbat.
Was that a premonition?
Which president said, I have only two regrets. I didn't shoot Henry Clay and I didn't hang Calhoun.
Was that Jackson?
You got it, baby. I love Andrew Jackson.
Sound like him.
And Andrew Jackson loves me.
You can pick him out the crowd.
I like it.
Now, could Mary Todd talk to the dead after Lincoln was shot?
Yes. Which president would skinny dip every day in the Potomac?
Hopefully not Buchanan.
Yes.
I read that story.
John, by the way, Buchanan was considered our first and only gay president.
Is that
He
right?
was a large man, wasn't he?
No,
What-
that
was
was
it?
Taft. Taft's the one that got
Oh.
stuck in a bathtub.
That's the guy.
It was John Quincy Adams that used to swim butt naked.
I read this, sir. So, yeah, John Quincy.
Yep.
Smart man, though.
Yes,
In
he
the Green
was.
Water River.
Which president died on the House floor in the middle of a session in Congress? He's one of my favorites.
And he is.
John Quincy Adams.
Really?
Yes.
What happened?
Wasn't he in his 80s?
Huh? Who was the first and only divorced president?
Reagan.
Reagan.
Reagan, that's
Yeah,
correct.
Reagan.
Newt, your long shot.
Copycat.
I mean, he's a long shot. Let me see here. George Washington was a general. Who was the next general elected president?
That's going down the line.
Grant.
No,
Nope.
it had to be one before him. Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah,
Now this is a good one. Andrew Johnson replaced Lincoln. He was drunk. He did not support Reconstruction of the South. He was impeached. He was a lousy president. Therefore, we should never elect one of these as president again. What was President Johnson's profession?
A haberdasher? No, he wasn't a hat maker.
Close. That was Truman.
He was a radio broadcaster.
No. He was a tailor.
Taylor. Okay, same thing.
God, who would ever want to elect a tailor? Let me see. I got some good stuff here.
We did elect a Taylor. Didn't we have a President Taylor?
Who was the only president with an MBA?
Played in the NBA.
MBA. Who was
Oh,
the only
MBA.
president with an MBA?
Would that be?
This is a shocker because he was a jackwagon dumbass of a president.
Wouldn't be Clinton, would it?
Nope.
No, what's his name? One before Roosevelt.
Nope.
Wasn't him?
George Bush. The second George Bush had an MBA.
Okay.
Really?
Who was the only president with a PhD? He also stunk. Just proves you can have too much education.
Carter.
Carter, correct. He was a nuclear engineer. This man lost a chance to be president by a few votes to Jefferson. By rules at the time, he became vice president. Who was he?
Can't answer.
Aaron Burr.
Burr?
The killer.
Burr. This one-time Union general ran against Abe Lincoln in 1964 and was expected to win until Sherman took Atlanta.
Oh,
They called him the Little Napoleon.
and he would not fight.
He was a wimp sack.
And, oh, shoot. He good organizer, though, but he would not
George
fight.
McClellan.
Right.
Here is a great trivia question. Jefferson Davis was the only president of the Confederacy. He was a former U.S. senator and congressman. What was the unique and ironic about the man who later won his former congressional seat from Mississippi? What was ironic about he took Jefferson Davis's seat from Mississippi?
Good question.
First black ever to be elected to Congress. Is that not cool?
Yeah.
That is cool. The good Lord said, ha, 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 ha. In the spirit of these teachers that like younger guys, what president married his older teacher?
No.
Who was it?
Wilson.
Millard Fillmore.
That's why all the schools are named after him.
A recent book titled Carlisle and Army tells the story of Carlisle, coached by Pop Warner and starring Jim Thorpe, playing for the Army. What United States president played on the Army football team?
Reagan.
No, Bush.
Dwight Eisenhower.
I don't know why.
Ike?
Who was the only president to be a cheerleader? Oh, my God.
Would it be the gay president?
No. He was. This is embarrassing. George Bush the second.
Figured.
Number 43. Which U.S. president played on a championship Ivy League baseball team?
Nixon.
George Bush won.
Wow.
Sarah Palin was once a sportscaster. Which president also was once a sportscaster?
Reagan.
Good job. Only one U.S. president was ever censored by Congress. His name, please.
Jackson.
Correct. You know what it was for?
What did he?
When Congress was on leave, he took all the money out of the Second National Bank
No, I didn't know that.
and put it in community banks.
Really?
Yes, he did.
Which was a good thing.
I'll bet you darn right he did.
That's where Obama gets that stuff.
Truman had S as a middle initial. So did Ulysses S. Grant. What did the S stand for?
Simpson. Ulysses Simpson Grant.
Actually, it stood for nothing, but West Point knew his mother's maiden name was Simpson, so they put it down by accident, and he kept it.
Really?
Okay.
He decided, what the hell? It worked out because it became U.S. Unconditional Surrender. Pretty good, isn't it?
Yes.
Let me see if I got anything else here. Vice presidents who became president by death. Or later. Death. Johnson, Truman, Coolidge, T.R., Arthur, Johnson, and Tyler, who later become, there was only 6. Adams, Jefferson, Bush Sr., Nixon, Van Buren, and Fillmore, and only one by resignation, old Ford. There is some presidential history trivia for you on this President's Day. Having a little bit of fun with the audience.
Now, Ford's the only president never to be elected, president or vice president.
That is correct. That's another great trivia question.
Absolutely.
And he was a center for Michigan's football team. And as we learned, he was a model. He was a model, gave up modeling.
Too sexy for my shirt.
Too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy. Mitt today speaks at the Meridian Bioscience in Newtown, and he's also at a fundraiser at the Great American Tower, which the Republican establishment, by the way, I rail against the Republican establishment, but the Republican establishment in Hamilton County I admire and respect. You got people like the Barretts, the Castellinis, the Williamses, the Joe Deterses. The establishment Republicans in Hamilton County are okay.
Is it working for them?
Well, they've had some troubles lately, like everybody else.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
Can Romney's negative ads knock Santorum off, or has the electorate grown tired of him? Santorum is winning in Michigan and Ohio.
But the negative ads can bring him down.
In Michigan, he's up 11 points.
Wow.
Romney only has 27% to Santorum's 38 in Michigan.
Isn't that
That's a
Romney's
slap in
state?
that's a slap in the face for Romney, isn't
That's
it?
a state, yeah.
That's my home state.
He will lose that?
Chris Wallace asked Newt yesterday on his show, he says, why not follow the advice you gave Santorum and drop out? And Newt said, well, I kind of agree with what Santorum's answer was. You shouldn't do it.
Newt's got an answer for everything. He just can't be president.
Coming up today, I'm going to give the reasons for my armed march on Washington. This is what Ron Paul said. He warned the U.S. is slipping into a fascist government system. Here's what he said. We've slipped away from a true republic. Now we're slipping into a fascist system where it's a combination of government and big business and authoritarian rule and the suppression of individual rights of each and every American citizen. I say give me an amen.
I agree with that 100%.
Michael DeWine jumped ship on Romney and went to Santorum. Poor Mitt. He's going to get asked that question today. Who else is ready to jump ship?
Oh, Mike.
And by the way, Mike's son is a Hamilton County Common Pleas who's an outstanding Common Pleas judge and will win re-election. Gingrich in Georgia, he says he might lose his home state. Governor Christie vetoed the gay marriage bill in New Jersey. By the way, now I know why he flew the flags at half-staff for Whitney Houston. He got invited to the funeral.
Oh, is that it?
Isn't that funny? Governor Christie. I wonder if he was.
Wow.
I was wondering if he's on the invite list. There was 2 white guys at the funeral, Costner and Christie.
Well, how do you justify?
Oh, now come on.
I'm just teasing.
Well, how do
Whitney
you
was
justify-
loved worldwide by everybody.
I know. I'm just teasing.
How do you justify flying a flag?
Costner made fun of the differences in him being white and black. It was great.
Well, how do you justify flying a flag at half-mast for a dope addict? How do you do that?
Because she was an icon.
I don't care what she was.
She sang the national anthem before the Super Bowl in 1991. That gave her the right.
So you want your kid to follow her footsteps?
I defend Christie and Whitney Houston.
No.
When did he turn out the bait? Sensible Don on this, we know I'll win on Real Talk 1160.
This portion of Bulldog Nation brought to you by Green Water. Green Water and new Green Water coffee. You can almost taste the coffee. And now, back to the Bulldog.
This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160, and I'm about to demonstrate why I'm the top trial lawyer in the United States of America.
You get paid for that, don't you?
All right, now, Sensible Don.
Yes.
I said that Governor Christie did the right thing by flying the flag at half-mast for Whitney Houston, who is an American icon, loved by many, endeared to many. and you say he should not. So, ladies and gentlemen, watch how I destroy Sensible Don in this argument. Sensible Don, state your case.
My case is, why would you give anybody that privilege that has done what she did to the young American people?
Did what?
The
What did
young
she do?
American
What did she do
people
to
should
everybody?
follow in the footstep of Whitney Houston. You find yourself how some kind of prescription drug.
Oh,
laying
because
on
she
the
had
side of
prescription
a
drugs?
bathtub.
Okay.
And
Oh,
she
because
married,
how she
and
died?
she married the ugliest guy on earth, Bobby Brown.
Okay, so you're saying the flag should not be flied half-mast
No.
because she had a drug issue and
Thank
she
you.
married Bobby Brown.
Thank you.
All right. Do you think the watch this, ladies and gentlemen, of the American jury.
Wait, before you start. Now, hold on. Now, wait a minute. That's kind of like the 1981 Bengals playing last year's Bengals. Man, that's not even fair. That wasn't even a good argument, Don.
Now, Sensible Don. Now, Sensible Don.
I'm listening.
Do you think Governor Christie should fly the flag at half-mast? Watch as I set him up for soldiers and policemen who die in the line of duty?
No.
You don't?
No.
Why
Absolutely.
not?
They're doing their job. Why would you fly? If I get killed driving a bus, are they going to fly a flag at
Well,
that
do you know that most of the people... You throw me a curveball, but I'm quick and nimble on my feet.
I hope so.
Don't you? Do you realize that those people that are opposed to the flag being flying half-mast use that as an example?
Right, they did. But I'm using a different example.
Well, let me tell you why you're wrong.
Okay, I'm listening.
All right. The reason why you're wrong is there is not anyone perfect in this world.
You got that right.
So if a soldier were to die in New Jersey, well, are we going to look at the soldier's background and say, well, he had a drug issue, he beat his wife, and he had a DUI? Or are we going to say he died in the line of his duty for his country? Sensible Don, there are countless human beings in America hooked on prescription drug bills. There are countless Americans that pick the wrong person to marry, that have marital discord. That is the wrong reason to withhold from Whitney Houston, who in 1991 sang the Star-Spangled Banner better than anyone has ever sung it. In fact, she sang it so well, it was a single. No one has ever had the Star-Spangled Banner used as a single like Whitney Houston. Bill Parcells said that it was the most emotional thing he had ever witnessed or heard on the football field. So I stand with Whitney Houston and the legions of Americans who find in her rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner, America.
Two things. First of all, Whitney Houston was doing just like these soldiers who died in combat. They were doing their job. There's nothing special about that. Nothing at all. I serve this country. You go out, you get shot. Simple as that. Badmouth, this is a place I love. That's why you shouldn't fly that flag for a sorry human being.
We're not
like her.
going to sit here, Don, and listen to you badmouth the United States of America. Because let me tell you something. If you are attacking Whitney Houston, then
absolutely.
you are attacking the Star-Spangled Banner.
Never
And if
happened.
you are attacking the Star-Spangled Banner, you are attacking America.
I guarantee you, Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown at their high school basketball game did not stand during the Star-Spangled Banner. Guarantee it. The lawyer needs all this electronics to fight with me.
All right, you've heard the Bulldog's argument, and you've heard Sensible Don's argument. Let's listen to what the listeners want to say. We want to know what you think. 513-579-1160. Call us now. We'll give you airtime.
The dog is right.
Oh, yeah,
Meanwhile, let's make fun of Sissy Boy some more.
Which one?
Mitt Romney, his co-chairman in Arizona, Pinal County Sheriff, which sounds a little bit too much like the man's
Pinal County.
Pinal County Sheriff, Paul Babrin, is running for Congress, has to admit he's gay because he had to deny a threat to deport someone who said he threatened to deport me if I outed him. So Romney throws him overboard. Bulldog note, I've been around Romney types. He's a sissy. He's a chicken. He would throw anyone overboard for the least little issue. He's like a Marcus Carey, a Dick Roding, or a Clyde Middleton. He's not my kind of man. He's a sissy.
Why is he running from the gays? Why? The gays vote too.
He's running from anything that's, ooh, that's a little, ooh. Mitt Romney wouldn't let me be his co-chairman. Ooh, he had a fight with the Bar Association. Ooh, he's been sanctioned by a judge. Ooh, I don't want his support.
Well, he's not really running from the
Guess
gays. He's
what?
running from the controversy surrounding the issue.
That's right.
Yeah.
Guess what, Mitt Romney? Why, you are a little sissy boy. I lead a nation already. It's called Bulldog Nation.
And we on our
You're
way to
trying to
Washington.
become president of the American nation. I already have a nation.
All would be issue M1 garage to fight this war.
Oh my God, I'm having fun.
I know you
I'm
are.
having fun. By the way, Howard Dean wrote in a fundraising letter to from the DCCC. The truth is, the American dream can't survive if radical Tea Party Republicans, backed by billionaires and corporations, have their way.
And they will have their way.
Now, Bulldog note, from the party of the man who needs to raise $1 billion from donors. Now, I got to ask you a question, Sensible Don. He says the American dream can't survive Tea Party. Can the American dream survive balanced budgets, cuts in spending, and energy independence?
It should
I
be,
think
but it
so.
won't. It should be.
I think
but it
so.
won't. He have to pay back that billion, Bulldog.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, when we come back after this next break, I'm going to tell you why we need an armed march on Washington. It's the only endorsements I will ever get now are from the NRA,
That's it.
Colt,
Remington,
Smith & Wesson,
Brownie.
Remington, Brownie.
We should sponsor the big outdoor.
This segment of the Bulldog Nation is sponsored by Colt 45.
Absolutely.
And then we got the next one, sponsored by Remington.
Oh, John Brownie coming in. Come on, Bulldog. Give me some time.
This is sponsored by Kruger. You know what? We're lucky though. There's a lot of gun manufacturers.
There's a lot of guns in this company.
There's a lot of gun manufacturers.
A lot of guns in this country.
A lot of gun manufacturers.
That's right. You should harm yourself.
Now,
I agree with that.
Now, I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now because I speak the truth. If I hear one more time that the economy is proving, I'm going to scream.
Yes, right.
You can smoke in mirrors and spin all you want. When you are spinning like a cash-heavy drunken sailor, the economy is still going off a cliff. When they say, well, the economy's improving, we just increased the debt in less than a year by $1.5 trillion. And we got a budget that want to submit with $1.3 trillion deficit. Yeah, the economy's improving.
And guess what?
Oh, my God. We're going off a cliff, Don.
Yeah,
but the economy's, the numbers are down. Manufacturing's up. General Motors got a profit. And they act like everything's hunky-dory.
Well, guess what this $105 barrel of gas going to do to our economy?
Oh, my God.
Think about it in July.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you like the gas prices now, just stick around. You're really going to like them.
It's going to change.
And how about this? Barack Obama wants those green energy jobs, and Barack Obama is for the little guy. How's those gas bills helping you little guy out? You're a little guy out there saying, hey, man, I'm going to vote for Barack, man. He's my president. Oh, wait a minute, man. I can't afford my gas anymore. Hey, is Barack going to give us free gas? Yeah, man, Barack will give us free gas. You watch. Barack's going to come out. Hey, if you elect me, I will give you free gasoline.
As long as I can catch a trolley to the voting booth, I'm okay.
I would like to say that I am appointing Mark Mallory of Cincinnati as my national streetcar czar.
The green man.
And we are going to build streetcars everywhere, so you do not need gasoline.
There'd be streetcars in Highland, Kentucky.
Oh, my God. I need a musical tranquilizer. How much time till the break?
Oh, we got another, I'd say about a minute and a half.
Can you play a little bit of our feel-good song? I need a musical tranquilizer. Give us the traditional Monday morning feel-good song. Here we go. Oh, my God, I'm going to blow up. My head's going to explode, Don.
Oh, I don't.
There's some good news.
Musical track. Give me some good news.
Well, you said we're going off a cliff, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, think about it. If you're going off a cliff, once you've gone over, the danger will end soon.
Yes, it will.
In the movie The Gray, this dude's dying.
Don't tell us about it.
No, this is not killing the movie.
Okay.
That dude's dying, and Liam Neeson goes, just look at me in the eye. Now you're getting real warm all over. And I'm sitting there thinking, way to comfort him, Liam. So it's kind of like, here's what Obama's going to say. We're going off a cliff. Everybody just relax. It'll be over soon. It'll be over soon.
You said it many a time. You're going to hell in a handbasket, and we can't build a handbasket.
I swear to goodness, I am not going to ever sleep. I do my best radio when I don't have any sleep.
You had to come out.
By the way, how many people put in a 15-hour day before 8:30? I took a nap from 4 to 5 p.m. So I'll put in a 15-hour day by 8:30. And my day has just begun.
Any other lawyers do that?
Hell no. Remember the rule. If you need a lawyer, you don't hire me, you're a dumbass.
Simple as that, because he work on it day and night.
Oh, thank God for Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Did they help you out?
Hey, TC.
Yes.
I'm exhausted. When we come back,
30 minutes, he'll make it.
I am going to give you my treatise on why we have an armed march, sponsored by Smith & Wesson, Remington, and all the other gun manufacturers on Real Talk 1160.
Hey, I got a green water bid for you coming up after the break, too.
Okay. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160, raising a little hell.
Just a little.
We formed a band called the Bulldog and the Green Waters. How about a Green Water promotion?
All right, we can do a little green water. Now, see, last week we had our researchers out doing an experiment for the green water. We've secretly replaced the salt brine solution used by the Northern Kentucky Transportation Department to pre-treat snow and ice-covered roads with great-tasting, slimy living green water. Let's see what happens. There you have it, folks. Green water, the slimiest water you'll ever drink. Available at Queen Cake. We might not get into the icy roads.
Oh, green water.
We had to take advantage of last week with the bad weather.
And remember, you learned today that wet behind the ears mean that you are so young you were just born and still have a little placenta behind your ear. Calling in now is my future son-in-law, Chad. Chad, welcome to Real Talk 1160.
Oh, how you doing, Bulldog?
Did you hear where I mistakenly jackwagoned you instead of oracled you? I hope you weren't listening to that.
I've been listening all morning.
Now, Chad, describe for the ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, my driving habits as you have personally witnessed them in the morning.
I'll see you about 6:40, knowing you need to be on the radio about 7 o'clock. And I'll pass you about 6:40, and then a couple minutes later, about 90 mile an hour down the right side.
Sound like it.
So you'll be a character witness if I ever have a wreck that I drive the speed limit.
Yeah.
That's loyalty. He's in the family.
He's in the family.
He's in the family. So, Chad, you are going to marry my lovely youngest daughter, Charlie Ann, on March the 23rd. I just want to tell everybody that Chad is a wonderful young man who's deserving of Oracle status. The only issue I have, Chad, is this. I mean, I just got to tell you the way it is. You have the same name as that presidential dispute down in Florida. During how old were you when that was going on between Bush and Gore?
Was I born yet?
You probably wasn't.
It's all right, Chad. You don't know what the hell we're talking about. That's a good thing, Chad.
Oh.
Now, what are you going to do today?
I called in. I didn't know any other better way than to ask the Bulldog if I could marry his daughter than on the radio.
Well, I just want you to know, Chad, that you have the Bulldog's express permission to marry my lovely daughter, Charlie Ann, and I am sure that you will have a long, prosperous life. And my understanding, my daughter, I know you know this because you're marrying her, she wants to have like 5 kids before she's 30.
Did the guy faint? Chad, you
lost the line there.
Chad, are you not aware of this?
I am. I'm trying to find what word I want to say.
Chad, are you ready to work like 90 hours a week the rest of your life?
Are you up to it?
There you go. How you like that? He's a boondock saint there.
That's right.
He's ready to work.
And a handyman.
And a handyman. Do you know the only handyman in our house, Chad, is my wife? Your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Well, Chad, God bless you. You have my full permission to marry Charlie Ann. Any final words?
I hope you all just have a great day.
Let me give you some quick.
Are you going to serve green water at the reception?
Let me give you
green water.
Let me give you some quick.
I might throw some rice.
Let me give you some quick advice, Chad, from a guy that's been married 37 years. You have to learn one thing. Yes, honey, we'll do it that way. And that'll keep you married for 37 years, guy.
Chad, listen, Don's still married. He does take it from an expert, okay? Been through divorce court. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt, lost it in the divorce. Here's what you need to remember. You have 2 options. You can be right or you can be happy.
Remember that advice, Chad. It'll save you every night.
Chad's a good.
He's changed his mind now.
Chad, God love you, buddy.
Take care, guy.
Chad's a good kid.
He's changing it. He has second thoughts. And geez, it knows me as hard.
You guys better not have messed that up and talked him out of marrying my daughter.
Maybe I want to go to Afghanistan instead. I don't know.
5 kids in that short period, that would have talked me out of it right quick. Can you imagine?
It'll feel good for Chad, okay?
It'll feel good for Chad, man.
The fifth dimension.
Good luck, guy.
Marriage. By the way, I got all kinds of stuff lined up for music, like the 5 top rip the heart out love songs. Like the breakup songs. Oh my God. I've never had that pain. I don't want to ever have that pain. Where the woman you love says, "Sayonara, I'm leaving you for Bill."
And Bill's your best friend.
I don't have any Bills who are my best friends.
Oh, can you imagine
that
happening to you? Oh, yeah, I would have to come get you out of jail, wouldn't I?
You would. I would shoot Bill.
Really.
I can't believe there's not more violence, to be honest with you, in domestic situations.
I wouldn't encourage it. No.
I'm not encouraging it, but we're going to have a lot of gun sponsors for our show. Go ahead. What do you got, TC?
You're really hard on going for the gun thing, aren't you?
Well, I am. Okay, here's my deal. I am issuing, I'm sending this out nationwide today, a statement in support for a call for an armed gathering in Washington, D.C. Now, first, it's very important, and everybody knows, listen, the radio station knows who I am, so I'm not going to go through all of it, but I'm certainly not some kind of radical. Now, here is the state of this country, Don.
I'm listening.
Our national debt now exceeds $16 trillion and is climbing. The president just submitted a budget with a $1.3 trillion deficit. The president and the political parties lack the courage and the honor to balance the budget, cut spending in the manner it must be cut, and reduce our country's debt. As the world grows more dangerous, we've set a course of disarmament. We have become a country of 2 groups evenly divided in numbers: workers, like Chad, and non-workers. Our tax code and tax rates are a fiscal disaster. We are overregulated at every front. The president does not follow or defend the Constitution. Scandal and dishonesty with Fast and Furious as Exhibit A is everywhere. Super PACs and lobbyists have corrupted our political system. What the hell? The president wants to raise $1 billion. The absolute disregard for the American taxpayer with Solyndra as Exhibit A is pervasive. The failure to protect our borders is unforgivable. The continual extension of benefits which are not paid for encourages sloth, laziness, and joblessness. The unwillingness to set a course of energy independence by Barack Obama is shameful. The preference of too big to fail versus a strong community bank system is a threat to our economy. So, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, TC and Don, I have a few simple questions. Who among you can claim America is on the right course? Who among you can claim only one political party is to blame? Who among you can claim Barack Obama has America's best interests at heart? Who among you can claim our political process and the politicians will resolve our problems? Who among you can defend the actions of Barack Obama and the politicians if they're held up to the Constitution and Bill of Rights?
Not me.
Armed men and women, why? Because it's what it's going to take. Listen to this, Sensible Don. In 2008, we heard the entire economy was at risk of coming down. Trillions and trillions 4 years later. Have they learned? No. It's still spin, spin, spin. There is something about armed men and women which scare spineless, cowardly politicians. Also, as every gun rights member argues, it matters who has the gun. I'm no anarchist. I'm no advocate for the destruction of America. I support the saving of America. What will we do with our guns? We will demand resignations from the president, Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, John Boehner. Those are the 5 resignations I want. We will not advocate the overthrow of government. We will demand the less government we are supposed to have. And you know what, Sensible Don? I make this call to arms in the spirit of Patrick Henry and Thomas Jefferson. I got to ask you, Don, is Obama less a tyrant than George III?
Yes.
Oh, he is not.
Yes.
He's far worse.
Oh, George III was much worse.
And it's the height of hypocrisy for Obama and our political leaders to support armed revolt in Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Egypt, Iran, and Syria, when in fact nothing in those countries comes close to the threat our country has with Barack Obama in the White House. For those who claim we have a peaceful process here, BS with super PACs and the money and the fundraising. We don't have a voice. That voice has been stripped from us. It's been stripped. And there are cowards everywhere in the news, talk radio, cable news. They are more concerned about advertising dollars or landing the interview than speaking the truth. I say it's time to be lions, not sheep, Sensible Don.
Agreed, but the fact is, you have to remember that Washington, D.C. is an armed reservation. They got a whole bunch of soldiers there with bigger and better guns. And you know what? As long as we have the vote in this country...
They can't afford to fire upon the armed mob because it will cause chaos.
Can you say...
they will make martyrs out of the armed.
Can you say, what was the guy's name that shot the Americans in Washington in 1933? What was his name?
Sensible Don, this is my moment. I have been called. Ever since I was a little boy, I knew that I was called to some higher calling, and it is to lead.
Yes. You know what?
Third. See, we had the American Revolution, then the Civil War, then we had the Civil Rights. So this will be the fourth revolution in this country. I am going to lead the next revolution in the United States of America. I will be in history books.
It will be called the War of the Bulldog.
The War of the Bulldog. And it's going to be in the history books, Don. You better get on board or you're going to be left out.
You skipped 1860 John Brown.
On Real Talk 1160.
Security.
Why you skip John Brown?
Make sure you check out our brand new lineup on Real Talk 1160. We have Michael Savage at noon today, followed by Dennis Miller at 3 on Real Talk 1160. And now back to the Bulldog.
This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. And we have Becca from Fairfield going to say something Whittier-wise on Real Talk 1160. The microphone is yours, Becca.
Oh, thank you so much, Bulldog. I heard you talking about Mitt Romney, and he is kind of a sissy.
Sissy boy.
So you're going to wrestle him. I thought that was great.
I will arm wrestle him. I'll do anything. I want to see if there's no calluses, which I know on his hands.
Oh, there can't be.
At least Santorum has probably been in a coal mine or something.
You would think, right? You know about his story, right? That his grandfather was a coal miner.
I love that story.
Unbelievable. Well, I just wanted to share with you and your listeners that he is, in person, an amazing speaker. I got a chance to go to the Warren County Lincoln Reagan dinner on Friday and got to shake his hand and say a few words.
Neat.
I'm a coordinator here, just a volunteer here in Butler County for his campaign. And if there's any way at all, I will try to see if you can be on your show. I don't know, you don't do a lot of guests. But,
listen. I want you to know that we have 50,000 listeners. If he comes into town, we would love to have him on. You just give him the number, and he can call any place he is, and we'd be happy because we're for Rick Santorum.
If she can get
you
Rick
know that makes my heart just so happy.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, at least he can appeal to the Bulldog. He can appeal to Bulldog Nation. Mitt Romney can't appeal to a blue-collar, crazy, beer-drinking, gun-toting conservative.
Well, here's two things real quick. I wanted to make sure to say. First of all, I heard your friend Bill Cunningham the other day say that he's leaning toward Rick Santorum. Now, whether that's an actual endorsement,
he'll do anything I tell him to do. He'll do anything I tell him to do.
The other thing I wanted to say is I did get to speak to our sheriff up here, the Honorable
Richard Jones. What's K stand for?
I don't know. Knockout. I don't know.
All right.
TKO. Anyway, you woke me up. This is awesome.
Well, you're awesome for calling, Becca.
You're inspiring me because, I did not get 5 hours of sleep. I was wide awake.
Becca, you know what you are?
What am I?
You're an oracle.
Yay!
When is Rick coming back to Ohio?
He is actually back in Ohio today. He went to Georgia for 1 day for an event, and he flew back last night.
How
He's
funny.
in Steubenville today doing an event, the birthplace of Dean Martin. And is, oh goodness, I don't know what else. He's going to Michigan after that, I think.
You know how funny is it?
You don't know more than a couple days ahead, though.
Yeah, so. How funny is it that he's leading by 11 points in Michigan? He's winning in Ohio. If he beats Newt and Georgia, that'll be too much. Newt, you know it's hilarious. Newt's telling him to get out of the campaign. Now it's, hey Newt, why don't you get the hell out of the campaign?
Hello. Well, you know what he's doing tomorrow, Bulldog.
What,
He's
Newt?
Pulling out. Newt's going to be running around with Rick Perry. This
really?
is going to be a comedy of errors all over again.
Well, they can go walk around going oops together. Oops, oops, oops. What's your name?
I think it's hilarious that Rick Santorum comes, gets 350, 400 people in Warren County. He gets 1,500 yesterday.
He's got the momentum. Rick Santorum isn't a sissy. Rick Santorum knows how to throw a punch, and unlike the other jackwagons, when he takes a position, he holds to it.
He does. And Newt comes to town. You know what he did? He came to Cincinnati, went to Priceville Chili. He might have got 200 people.
You're right. Hey, you know what?
You know
Nobody.
what I mean?
I heard there was only 6 people there, and they painted like they carry around a banner like they have like fake people drawn to make it look like there's more than 6. And I heard at Meridian Bioscience that they threaten to fine each worker $5,000 if they don't show up to work today to clap. And then I heard that they actually have a Great American. They're requiring nobody's allowed to get off any floor and the elevator except the floor where the Romney campaign is going to be to make sure they have a crowd. Those are the rumors I'm hearing out there.
Yeah, some decent sources.
There's all kinds of stuff.
I got sources
and
everywhere.
I want to say, I really have to say something to Sensible Don. Sensible Don,
yes.
It was such a joy to hear you even on the phone the other day because you're just, it's amazing what you do on the show.
Tell Bulldog that. Tell the boss said so he keep me around.
I will. But I mean, seriously.
I appreciate
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. I've been wanting to kick him out of here, and now you're going to get Billy.
Oh no. But anyway, Bulldog, seriously, if there's any way to talk to the sheriff, I did just briefly talk to him at a Tea Party event. I'm a proud member of our
Go
Fairfield
Tea Party. You know, according to Howard Dean, the Tea Party is going to wreck America.
I heard you say that.
Balanced budgets would really hurt America, won't it, Becca?
It's going to be the death knell of our country, Bulldog. So I appreciate that. I'm going to pull that up and read the whole statement in just a minute to myself. But anyway, so if there's anything you can do as far as Sheriff Jones, I'm going to get back. I'm going to touch with him again today.
And you know what? He's what we call in the business a radio whore. You tell Sheriff Jones to call my radio station, and I will have him on, and he can talk about Santorum.
Well, I talked to him. When I talked to him at the event, we had an event up at the Westchester Tea Party. Had an event with we had the clerk of courts candidates, and we also had the county commission. So we had everybody from Courtney Combs to, everybody up there. And I said to him, I said, Sheriff, I hear you all the time on Bill Cunningham. He's like, yeah, we're friends. He said, we have a good time. And I said, yeah, but, anyway. So.
You know what we're going to do tomorrow, I think?
What are you gonna do?
Tomorrow we're going to wear sweater vests. And as a sign of allegiance and support to Rick Santorum.
Bless you.
We are going to wear sweater vests and carry lumps of coal in our pocket.
I know you probably got to wrap up your stuff. I know you got all your endorsements, all your different companies to talk about at the end of your show. So I'm going to wrap up. I am going to let our National Grassroots Coordinator know that you're wearing your sweater vest, and she will.
You tell Rick Santorum that when he's elected president, we're not even going to ask anything like everybody else. All we want is to him to do a good job. That's all we care about. We're not like those other people that have their hands out looking for appointments and all these other things. All we want is good government, and we know Rick Santorum can give it, and Mitt the Sissy Romney can't.
That's so true. I'll just leave you with this one thing that Rick said in his speech up in Mason. He said, Ohio, you have a big number of delegates. And the look that he had on his face, Bulldog, it was like a man going to his boss asking for a raise. I've never seen the like. A man of humility.
That's good. That's good.
Amazing. And
God bless you, Becca. Will you say the rosary and prayers for us that we may continue to deliver radio superbity?
I know Catholics that'll do it. I'm a Methodist, but I will ask them.
Granny Krippenstapel was a Methodist.
Who?
From Harlan County. My grandma Krippenstapel, we called her Granny. She was a Methodist.
Oh.
I stand with the Methodists.
Yay! Okay, well, I'll talk to you soon, Bulldog.
I got an angle on everything, Becca. Go ahead, TC.
I was thinking about something you said.
Hope it was witty and wise.
It was. The employees at Meridian Bioscience got a memo, so there'll be a $5,000 fine if you don't
show up in class.
Now think, last Friday.
I just thought of that. I'm witty and wise, aren't I?
Last Friday, those employees were sitting around about 4 o'clock thinking, we got a 3-day weekend. President's Day is Monday. Then they get the email.
You're right. You will show up and you will clap for this guy, or you're going to be fired. And then the Great American down there, the Lender gang decided to say, all right, what floor are we going to have this on? The 14th floor?
14th,
all right,
yeah.
Elevator's going to stop at the 14th floor. Wait a minute, it's 14th floor. Man, there's a crowd of people here for you. Man, look at all these people
Look at
here.
it.
They're
Yeah.
directing all the traffic to the floor. Got to make sure they have a crowd. Oh, we're just too funny, Don.
Yeah, man,
Now, the same people that fixed that elevator are also going to be their trolley repair people, you know.
Trolley repair people. Guys, do you believe they're building these? They're starting. I got a question. Who in America starts a public with the trust, the public taxpayer dollars, a streetcar when they don't have the utilities thing worked out with Duke? They don't have $40 million of their funding. And the librarian just goes out there and says, we're going to do this.
We're going to do it.
Let's dig the hole.
And everybody rally around
Yeah,
it.
we got our golden shovel. Let's go.
They are illusional, man. You know, Romney was seen at Good Samaritan emergency room with that blister on his hand. When he flipped that rock over, it just, it caused that blister. He should have worn those gloves like his mom said. Now, Mark, wear those gloves that I gave you now. When you twist that shovel, you know, you might get a blister.
They should look back with their.
I'm going to give an award. I'm going to give a $100 bill to anybody that can provide to me a picture of Mayor Mallory without a suit.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It has to be taken, and any time in the next. Does he sleep in that suit?
He has quite a few suits.
When we come back,
Got that undercover
I
boss
want to tell you what, Radio Addiction is next with Laura Ingram. We're going to be back tomorrow with even more Radio Superbity, the best talk show in the country, right here on the little one, Real Talk 1160.